to the I Am Power Hour, where personal growth meets empowerment.
And I'm Terry, and I'm here to inspire, challenge, and help you transform your mindset.
And I'm Stacie. Together, we're diving into topics that fuel your passion, and we'll be checking the mailbag and talking about resilience and everything in between.
Hey, Stacie, so all of you, grab your coffee, your journal, or even just yourself, and let's ignite the power in you. Welcome to the I Am Power Hour with me, Terry J. Walker, and my lovely co-host, Miss Stacie Staten. And before we get into our topic today, Stacie, tell me, how was your week?
Oh, let's see. How was my week? A lot of up and downs this week. It was like an emotional roller coaster, but I'm always good with that. But over the past few months, I've had my struggles, but I do have some exciting news to share.
Oh, and are we going to get a hint on that? What are we going to do?
Well, we'll just say job versus no job. We'll just leave it at that.
Oh, wow.
What
Oh,
about you?
wow.
How was your week?
Yeah. Well, my week was not job versus no job, but I know there's a lot of fear and change and things going on out there. And I've done quite a few trainings this last week, and I'm seeing people and training people and working with a lot of people who are really concerned about their jobs right now, and the whether they're secure or feeling stable in their jobs. And I'm hearing a lot of fear, a lot of stress, a lot of worry. And, all of these are topics and things that we're going to go over, over the course of this season. But I definitely want to hear a little bit more about you and potentially this job or no job. You want to give us a little bit more about that? And then we're going to get ready and take a break and come back and talk more.
Sure. A lot of people that you just spoke of struggling, insecure about work. And I was told a few months ago that the role that I was currently in was going to be dissolved. But looked like I got a lifeline thrown to me. So I'm excited about that. But we'll talk about that when we come back from the break.
Absolutely, because our topic today happens to be resilience, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about that. So we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the I Am Power Hour, and today we are going to be talking about resilience. Resilience comes in many different forms. I think a lot of people hear that word but really don't know what it means, or even think that they themselves they don't have resilience. What are some good traits that people can look at and go, yeah, I got resilience?
Exactly. Because I think resilience is a big, huge term right now that we all need to take into consideration. But before we talk about the traits, I want to talk about actually what it is, because people who are resilient, it doesn't mean that they don't have tough times, face challenges, go into the pitfalls of life, but they're actually able to move through those pitfalls and those challenging times by maintaining such trait as a positive mindset. But they're able to ask themselves, in the time when they're in those storms of life, if you will, how can I grow from this? What am I to learn from this? Because there's an old analogy, Stacie, that you're either heading to a storm, you're in a storm, or you're coming out of a storm. And oftentimes many people just kind of go through the storm going, I don't know, how am I going to get through this? This is never going to end. But in fact, change is always occurring and it will end. But if you go through that storm with the ability to say, what am I to learn from this? How can I grow through this? When you come out of that storm, you won't be the same person that went into the storm. And in fact, you've grown and you become more resilient. And in fact, that may be exactly what that storm was about. But in the process of that, people who have traits of resilience, and I want you to think about you, the audience, whoever, do you know anyone that has these traits? Do you know anyone that maybe has a sense of resilience? And it could be you, but understanding the importance of that. But people who have these traits, they have a sense of purpose. They believe in themselves. They have a network of people that they trust and can count on, and they are a part of that network to be trusting and accountable for those around them. But they're also able to maintain a positive mindset. And that is something that we're going to be talking about even in future shows, I believe. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's true. But just listening to you, I totally get it, right? I mean, listening to that, being able to understand that, I hope our viewers, are understanding and being able to look inward and talking about some of those you were touching on storms. Let me tell you, I have been through storm after storm after storm ever since September,
Oh
right?
my
So,
gosh.
as you know, in September, I was told that my role that I was currently in was going to be dissolved at the end of this March, right? March 31st of this year, I was no longer going to have a job. And of course, in today's economy, panic started to set in, right? I'm a single
Exactly.
mom. I'm putting my daughter through college. I got dogs to raise. I have to have a mortgage, right? All these
Right.
things, car
Yeah.
payments, gas. What am I going to do about gas? Prices of eggs. It's crazy, right? So,
Exactly.
I mean, I was just, I mean, we've had so many conversations and just trying to always stay positive to kind of get through that storm that I was in. I mean, there were days, Terry, that I really thought that it was not going to fare in my favor. I mean, there were days where I was so depressed that I just had to shut the world away and then come back, right? Give it a day. I'm sending resume after resume after resume out, not only within my company, but on the outskirts. But
Yeah.
there were some days where I couldn't take it. And, I gave myself the day to reboot and then was back at it the next day.
How did you
So
reboot?
Control Alt Delete. I mean, who doesn't Control Alt Delete
Control
every now
Alt
and then?
Delete. Is
That's
that what
right.
you're talking about?
Best way to reboot. Control Alt Delete.
Control
Unplug
Alt
it,
Delete.
plug myself back in, and off I go. But one of the things I learned, and what I did, and I even brought it in to share today, was that I wrote myself a list. I don't
Oh
know if you could
wow.
see that, but I did. I wrote myself a list, and I wrote this on February 1st of this year. And I literally wrote, my new job will be or have. And I listed 10 things that I wanted my new job to have.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, I put on there that I wanted it by March 31st, right? Because that's when my job was going to dissolve. That's when I needed it. I've kept this with me, had it by my bedroom dresser. I would meditate on it, think about these positive things, think about, my new job. I'm big in manifestation, right? So I'm seeing it, I'm believing it, I'm having all the good feels of it. And last week I was offered a job in my own company, which thrills me because I've been with my company for 12 years now.
Yes.
And I'm just elated over it. I'm a little bit scared of it because it's something completely different than what I've been doing, kind of down the same way, but really different. And I couldn't be more happy. I mean, it's just, I persevered. I was resilient. I worked my way through it, and I feel like I came out on top. So, kudos to me. Woo, I'm excited.
Absolutely. And give yourself those pats on the back. And I want to break some of this down for our audience because you have absolutely defined how to become more resilient by getting clear on what you wanted. Because a lot of times we're in fear if we're told we're going to lose our job. There's this chaos, all of this mind, these thoughts, fear of what am I going to do, how am I going to make it. But you've gone into that storm, and instead of just how am I going to get through this, what am I to learn from this, and you got clear on what you wanted by writing that down, correct?
Correct.
You focused on it, you meditated over it, and you basically felt it, and you maintained that positive mindset.
Yeah.
And when it started getting to you, because it's not that resilient people don't have challenges, but on those days it started getting to you, you did what?
I rebooted. Control Alt Delete. But I think what was more important though is that I allowed myself to have that day of downtime, right? To be able to kind of process everything that was going on and have been able to just kind of, okay, right? Take those deep breaths, refocus, and then be able to go back at it the next day.
Exactly. You don't want to keep pushing and pushing and beating yourself up. You want to be able to reset yourself. Absolutely. And, you know, having a positive mindset or being optimistic, all of these kinds of things is a job. It takes work, but we're all going to have those thoughts, those fear-based thoughts that keep coming back in. What if this doesn't work out? What if I don't make it? What if the time comes and I've still not got this? And that's like having, and this statement, I know you do. That's like having one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. Gas, brake, gas, brake, gas, brake in your mindset. Not correct?
Yeah. I had some of those moments, very much so that where I did. I mean, I kind of was in a panic. I may not have showed anybody that, but I did. I had those days where it was just,
Yeah.
this isn't going to happen, to where it really made me start sweating. And I will tell you though, the week I got the job offer, I got 4 additional interviews. So when they say it rains, it pours.
Or not even that, but when one door closes, maybe 5 or 6 will open. You see what I'm saying?
100%. 100% they did. So I am just utterly grateful for, the journey that I went through. And I just feel so much stronger and better and even more healthy, right, in my mindset and up here, because now a lot of that pressure and stress has now melted away because I, as you talked about earlier, feel more secure in what I'm doing.
Exactly. And you even mentioned too that you're doing something, this job offer that you've taken within your company. One, it's positive because now you don't have to change your benefits. Now you don't have to start over at a new company and meet new people and yada, yada. So that's a very fortunate thing there. It's something you're used to, the environment, the people, all of those things. So that is something to truly be grateful for. But aside from that, you did mention this is something way outside my zone, correct?
Yeah.
But I know when you were in the storm, because I was over here with you, trying to support you. But I know when you were in the storm, you took the time to say, what am I to learn from this? And storms are here to help us to learn, to grow, and to maybe make a step out above or beyond our comfort zone. And but you were out beyond your comfort zone when you got that letter that said you're going to be losing your job. That's outside your comfort zone, but you handled it. You managed it. You kept that resilient mindset. How can I grow? What can I learn from this? But now have accepted a new position, but you're still going to have that willingness to, what am I to learn? How can I grow? And life's journey is all about that willingness to grow, to enhance yourself. And
To LNT.
yeah, that's exactly, you got
LNT.
LNT. LNT is simply having that willingness to learn new things. And that's what this life's journey is all about. Because otherwise you're just staying stagnant. And we all need to keep moving forward. And that's exactly what you've done. And then give yourself a big pat on the back. Celebrate that win. Be grateful for
Yeah. Nobody wants to stay stagnant because you start to smell and it's just a big mess.
it. Exactly.
You get mosquitoes and everything. You stay too stagnant. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
with you. And resilience actually happens after a major loss or a major change. And usually it's combined, loss or change, and loss and change. Whether it's losing a relationship, losing a job, whatever the case may be, how do you continue to grow? Or you have that choice to remain a victim and maintain that low energy victim mindset. And you know what those low energies are: fear, anger, frustration, shame, guilt, unworthiness. Those are all low energies. But even to build that mindset that we're going to talk about even next week, the higher energy levels, the resilience, the feelings of excitement, joy, freedom, success, happiness, and most of all, my biggest topic ever, gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah. When you were just touching on losses and having to build your resilience for losses, a couple of weeks ago, I had an uncle pass away. Oh, sorry, dog in the shot. I
That's
had an
okay.
uncle.
We all got them. You heard Bailey
No,
Bob barking a
right?
while ago.
Say hello, Benny. I had an uncle pass away, and he was 92, and my Aunt Shirley is 88, and she's struggling with her kids, and of course our entire family. After losing such a strong person, of having to rebuild her own resilience. And I know in my conversations with her, we talk about keeping positive mindsets. And even though I know, they were married for over 70 years, that it's a hard loss for her, but how much she has to look forward to, because she has plans, right, that she wants to do. Even at 88, she wants to come visit me, she wants to go do some things.
Yeah.
And I just, kind of help her try and keep track that positive mindset of being able to move forward, even though she's going through such a tragic loss, that she's going to come out even stronger on the other end.
Absolutely. This journey has been put here for us to grow from the moment we arrive until the moment we leave. And, I've heard so many times that the graveyard is full of people who have never followed or their purpose or obtained their dreams. Millions and millions of dollars of ideas are buried out there in the ground of those who never followed it. And I am a big, huge proponent, even after the losses that I've incurred over the last few years, and realized, I can remain down here in these low energies that I just talked about, or I can find the strength to pull my bootstraps up to say, what am I to learn from this? How can I grow from this? What is my purpose? What is my passion? And begin to grow from that. And that has been probably the best and strongest I've ever become in my life. And then, of course, now finding my purpose, my passion. I knew it was always there, but to follow it and to move through it, because I'm here with even the I Am Power Hour and you to unite people, to bring people together, to help people to overcome, challenges or tragedies in life, and to bring them together in a way that they can no longer feel as victim, but become more of a victorious in their life. And I've said, I'm going to do this until I don't. There's no such thing as retirement for me. It's I'm going to do this until I don't. And if many people as I can that I can inspire and motivate and help, that's what I want to do. And that's why we're bringing this season back this year to hopefully inspire and motivate others to understand that they're not alone and that we are here to hopefully help them to realize that and to give them maybe some tips, tricks, or tools of the trade, if you will, to be able to do this, or simply having that willingness to LNT, learn new things, because I try to learn new things every single day.
Yeah, I think that's important, to learn something new every day. I would totally agree with you on that. But when we come back, we're going to review the steps to resilience, and hopefully you'll be able to take some notes, write them down, and become resilient yourself. We'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to the I Am Power Hour. And today we've been talking a lot about resilience. And, there's a lot of traits to that. And we've mentioned some of them. But I think one of the main ones that we want to get started with about becoming more resilient is setting those goals and being intentional about it. And Stacie, I know that you said that you wrote down some things. You got clear, you got intentional, and you wrote some things down that actually now seem to be coming true. Would you be willing to share maybe a couple of those things you wrote down to show Yeah.
how specific they were?
Yeah, of course. I mean, anything. So, it was on one of my days that I was rebooting myself, right? Really trying to figure out what I needed to do to accomplish what I needed to. So I did. I mean, literally, I got a very small piece of paper, and the day I wrote it, I put the date that I started, February 1st of 2025. And I literally at the top wrote, my new job will be or have. And I have 10 things listed. And some of I'm not going to go through all of them, but I got 4 main ones that I wanted to touch on. I was very clear on how much I wanted to make a month in my new position. I was also very clear on another point, that I wanted to stay within the company that I was already with, because I did not want to lose my seniority. I mean, I've been there for 12 years. It really would have been a bummer to have to start over, right? Start over with seniority, start over with having to get vacation and all these things that I already had underneath my belt. I didn't want to leave that. Also very clear, I wanted to make sure that the job was going to be able to have growth within it, to where I would be able to continue to develop not only personally, but professionally, because that's very important to me.
Right.
And then another main one that I thought was really important was that I wanted the job to be in a very close distance. I did not want to have to drive an hour or sit in traffic for 2 hours just to get to where I was going into the office. So I was very clear that I either wanted it to be 100% remote or hybrid.
Oh,
And I lucked out that it's very much a hybrid role to where I
wow.
don't have to drive very far every single day. That 2 days out of the week, I go into the to one office. 2 days out of the week, I go into a closer office to my home, and then one day a week, I get to work from home. So it
Wow.
really hit everything on my list. And then at the very end, when did I want this done by? I put the end date. I put March 31st, because that's
Oh,
when my
wow.
job was going to end, 2025. And like I said, I think that was one of the things that when I was able to look it over, it was able to keep my focus, right? And keep that positive mindset that I was trying not to like go down the rabbit hole and fall down the well. And so it really helped me. I think that is what really helped me get through it.
And, I think that is absolutely excellent of what you did. And, and thank you for having that willingness to share, four of those things, just to give an example of what people might be needing to write down and give them the ideas or the inspiration to start doing that. You can write as many things as you want. Of course, you want to make it as intentional and concise as you possibly can. And
Yeah.
there's something about taking all of those worrisome thoughts out of your head and maybe hitting that Control Alt Delete button for a moment and
Yeah,
resetting yourself to be intentional because you are the creator of your life. I am
that's
a
right.
firm believer in this. And
And you
we
don't
create
want to
our
be
life.
vague. You don't want to be vague in any way when you're creating your own life.
Exactly. You need to get intentional. And if you are not, then again, you're pushing the gas and the brake and the gas and the brake, and you're really just kind of start stop all the time. And that's just going to delay the process for you. So I want to thank you for sharing that. And that's just one of the things about people who are resilient, and you certainly are, and I believe that, and I've known you for many years, that making that comeback, recreating yourself. Life's not necessarily about starting over, but it could be about starting a new chapter. And so recreate yourself. Always have that willingness to
Learn new
L&T
things.
to learn new things about yourself, to help yourself to grow. But, even grounding yourself and taking time to step away. Don't let all those worrisome thoughts get to you, but take time to take some deep breaths, get outside, move around, and take care of yourself during these challenging times. Those are things that resilient people do. What are you taking in? What are you watching? Is it stuff that is, getting you even more uh, nervous and upset, or are you watching things that are like our podcast, the I Am Power Hour, something that's motivating where you can learn something new? So what are you taking into your mindset? And also, even what are you taking into your body? Because now is a time to make sure you're drinking water and taking in some proper nutrition, getting some exercise, and oh my, getting some sleep. And I do want to say this real quick, and then we're going to kind of move over toward the end. And I do a lot of this in our trainings. But if you are going to bed at night with all these worrisome thoughts, these negative, limiting belief and worrisome thoughts, if you're going to bed at night and those are the last things you're thinking that's going through your mind, everything that went wrong today and the other shoe's going to drop and all of those types of things and fear and worry of, am I going to have my job tomorrow, or whatever that case may be. When you go to sleep on that, you're going to have either some interrupted sleep, difficulty falling asleep, but also when you do sleep, you know what happens? You're marinating in that for the next 8 hours. But we have a choice to have that willingness to turn some of that off, hit that Control Alt Delete button. I love that, Stacie. I just love it. Put it over to the side, delete it, and come up with something positive in your mind, even if it's just some things about counting your blessings, if you will, having some gratitude of the things that did go right today, of the things that you're grateful for. Because if you do that, then you're going to marinate in that for the next 8 hours. So it's fully your choice. But people who are resilient, they learn to take a little better care of themselves. They monitor what they're taking into their mind. They monitor what their types of food they're eating. Because when we get worried, we like those comfort foods. I'm right there with you. Turn to the pint of ice cream or go through the drive-through because I'm just too tired and stressed to worry about cooking or whatever the case may be. I've been there. I've done it. Haven't you? And
I do it
so
today.
with that, make sure that you're getting out, exercising, taking some deep breaths because people who have resilience, they really focus on really trying to take care of themselves during that time period too. But I wanted to share some of that, and I want people to realize that they are not alone on this journey. We're here to help in the best way that we can, or find a support system to help those who may be going through, or help yourself. Who There's all kinds of support groups out there and things like that to help you move through some of this difficult time. But even with that, I think we have something special from the mailbag.
We do. Yeah. Actually, our first viewer came in, was asking a really cool, question. So let me read it here. It says, "Dear Terry and Stacie, my name is Josie, and I've been watching the I Am Power Hour. I have always admired the insightful discussion and the positive impact your program has. I wanted to share a brief personal story with you. I went through a major breakup a couple of months ago that left me feeling defeated and angry, which totally understand, right? We've all been through that. Do you have any tips on how to stay positive during this loss? Thank you for taking the time to read my letter. I greatly appreciate any insight you can share. Love this show. Josie from Jersey." Well, that's a little bit of a tongue twister.
Josie
Josie,
from
thank you so
Jersey.
much for writing it.
That almost got you tongue-tied too, didn't it?
It did.
I
So
love
what
it.
are some good tips that she can do to stay positive? I mean, we've all experienced loss in one way or another, right? Whether
Mhm.
it's a breakup or a death, but how can somebody stay positive?
Well, some of the things that we've kind of even talked about the resilience, because even going through a breakup, I said, resilience comes from loss or change, and even the breakup of a relationship or a job loss or the loss of a loved one or a friend or any of those types of things, it puts you in a state of change. So even today's show with resilience, but that really does that. The timing of this, I'm just so grateful for, because that takes us into our next show that we're going to be talking about mindset. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw this question out there for you. And I want you to be marinating on that for a little bit. What is it that you can control? What is it you can control? And we will be talking about some of that next week. So, Stacie, tell us about
But
the mailbag. But go ahead, go ahead.
but I already know. You want to know something I can control?
What is that?
TV.
Oh, okay. I love it. Yeah, you can control what you watch. That's for darn sure. And
That's
hopefully
right.
you're controlling that you've listened to the entire episode of the I Am Power Hour and maybe got a few tips, tricks, tools of trade, and maybe even a little laughter while we were at it. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. But hey, if anybody wants to reach out to us, you know that you could always email us. We're looking forward to hearing from you. It's the I Am Power Hour at gmail.com. I Am Power Hour at gmail.com. Terry, I
I
just want to say thank you again so much for allowing me to be part of your show, be a part of this journey with you. I am so very grateful that you allowed me to share my steps of being resilient. And I just look forward to the next episode.
Oh, I love it. And I am so grateful to have you here with me, Stacie, and uh, helping me and our audience to continue to grow and unite and come together. And I guess with that, I guess that's pretty much a wrap for this episode of Resilience on the I Am Power Hour, where we're going to try to prove that every hour can be your power hour.
We hope you're walking away with some inspiration and maybe even a new perspective.
And Stacie, I want my viewers to know that remember that growth isn't a destination, it is a journey. So keep showing up for yourself. So until next time, keep shining, stay curious, and as always,
own your power.
Own your power. I love it. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been watching the I Am Power Hour with Terry J. Walker and Stacie E. Staten. Contact us at iampowerhour@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.